Yay Networks.
Hey everybody, and welcome to This Is Life with Heather and Cornelius. My boo gave me a break for like 2 months, and so I figured I should probably give him one. So this is not my boo, but this is my other boo.
I'm like the stand-in boo.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Cornelius Lindsey, and you're listening to This Is Life.
I love it. This is my boo, Sybil.
Hi,
from
love.
The Great Girlfriends.
The Great Girlfriends.
Yes. So y'all don't understand. Like this podcast is gonna be about friendship, as you can see on the title. But Sybil has been my girl since what, like 2004?
Let's go back.
Let's go back.
Your hair was blonde.
Your
hair was blonde. Personality, energy, all the same.
This was New York City. We were in New York.
Let's go
y'all.
New York City 2004.
Yeah.
We were like zesty young 20s, and we were all figuring out this new scenario, this new environment that we were in. And
we met at church.
And I didn't have like church friends yet. I was still figuring that out. I had my husband, but he wasn't my husband at the time. I had he was just a boyfriend.
He was a boyfriend.
You go back to the boyfriend.
I go back
days.
to the boyfriend. I've been there for a long time.
Oh my God.
I know.
He was boyfriend then. And so I didn't have people or whatever. And you had friends and I didn't. And I remember seeing you around going, oh my gosh, she looks so nice. And she's so pretty. And oh my God, her energy is great. And then you did your roll up and you were like, hey, I'm Heather.
I did. I pulled up. I was like, we're going to be friends.
And we're going to be friends.
We're going to be friends.
And I was like, okay. No one's ever rolled up on me like this. Okay, this is great. Yeah, and the crew was like doing this, like, yeah. And I was like, what is this about? Like, what does this entail?
So it's funny. There was no official like singles ministry or even anything. We were at a new church, and so I decided to make the unofficial singles ministry.
Women's, singles,
all of
prayer,
everything.
It was all the things.
It was all those things.
Wellness.
It was.
There were smoothies at the slumber party. It was like all of the things.
Which is still how I am to this day, which is so funny.
Consistent.
Yes. One thing about me is I'm going to be consistent.
I feel like it's 2004 and it's 2023. It's you.
Yeah.
Character.
100%.
Which I love.
So yeah, Sybil has been around forever. And so now she has her own amazing podcast. And I love that it's called The Great Girlfriends because you're a good friend. Like,
thank you.
Consistent. I mean, you've been there through every season, through my boyfriends, through my meeting Cornelius engagement, leaving our old church and getting the side eye by everybody. And the thing is, when we left our church, you were like, Heather, me and Kwaku support you and Cornelius and whatever God has called y'all to do. Like you didn't jump on the bandwagon of the people that were trolling us back then. I feel like every season the Lord just sends the trolling, right? Isn't it funny? It's
and
almost
I just
like
don't
with
believe in it.
every evolution or what is it?
Evolution?
Every elevation.
In
your life, you're gonna get new trolls and new haters. But you were there and you saw our journey. And
that hurt so bad. I did. I hurt for you. And it was like, I can't protect her.
Yeah. I was like your little sister,
I
right?
I could just be her friend, but I hated so bad how people can do that.
Yeah. And that was when we were leaving. This is before we even had a ministry.
And this was before social media would do what it does.
Exactly. Before the
real
cancel
people
culture.
just showing up being ignorant.
Yeah.
Like, they weren't botting. Think about it.
And you were like, nope, I ain't getting involved in that. No. Let me know when you're in town. We'll get together. We're good. You always believed in me. You always supported me.
Eternally.
I'm so thankful for you.
Because I love you.
Yes, I love you too, bro.
I love you so much. I do. I love her.
So we're actually she's going to be on for 2 episodes with me, y'all.
Yay.
But since we had to share a little bit of our backstory, I want to talk about the title of this message. This ain't a sermon, but the title of this podcast today.
Get the Hammond.
Right. What to do when your friend burns you or screws you. I like that word better. What do you do when your friend screws you? And I think we almost first think like that's not your friend, but then there's people you've actually done life with who you're like, this person is my friend and they screwed me and they did me dirty. And I've had friends like that. I know you've had friends like that because we've been around each other for a long time.
Girl.
So we could just look at each other and think of people just pop into our head.
Dancing across my mind right now.
Right.
Yes.
But I feel like that's something people really struggle with.
Yeah.
Is like, yo, you're my friend. And I know in the aftermath, the churchy thing to say is like, oh, God took him out of your life for a reason. And he did, and I'm thankful for, but yo, that hurt.
That hurt. That was human hurt. We're having a human experience. And
that's real.
You can't extract the fact that we have emotions in the middle of these moments that happen. And, you know, I love to put God in front of everything I do. God is my filter. Sometimes I lose my filter. Okay? So I might be like, Heather, I got to call you back because I'm about to cuss. And I don't want to cuss in Heather's ear. But sometimes, sometimes because I'm human, and I need to be able to be human. So, yes.
Yeah.
You don't know that we were supposed to record this last week, and I couldn't make it because last week I didn't have what I had going on this week.
Yeah.
So this is hitting home, honey.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know that. We going to talk afterward.
So I'm like, oh, my God.
I had no
Lord
idea.
Always knows.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
yeah, but it's cool. But I'm the perfect candidate for this conversation.
No, it's real. But I first want to say I've never had conflict with you.
No.
Ever. Not one argument in almost 20 years.
I know.
So I think it's possible to have healthy, thriving relationships.
Yeah.
I'm the type of person, and you're the same way, where I'm going to treat my friends right.
Yeah.
I'm going to love you. I will take the shirt off my back. You can have what I got. You know that. I used to have clothing swaps where I like literally, you can have my clothes. So let's swap, right?
Everybody bring things to trade.
Yeah, we traded clothes.
Yeah.
We did clothing swaps.
I mean, you actually... you were the beginning of what I consider my Louis Vuitton ministry because you sold the very first, and the only one actually to sew a Louis Vuitton. She gifted me. You came and you brought me a Louis Vuitton Never Full tote.
Do
you remember that? At Bible study, you pulled up on me with that Never Full, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is the one I wanted, but I wasn't going to buy because I was having a new baby and I was preparing, and that became my baby bag. And then that's, like when it resonated with me, when I tell you I can't count how many Louis Vuittons I've given away, not trying to brag on anything, but just saying,
I love that.
I was like, I want to do the same. I want to give some people, I want to like give people their first Louis Vuitton. I want it to be that special because I knew how special it felt for me to receive it. And how significant it was, not just of you giving me a purse, but it was, you gave me what God sent you to give me, which was a luxury purse that was on my heart. And it was a reinforcement of God. Yeah. Our behaviors are supposed to be a reinforcement in some way of like God's placement in our life, his purpose, his will, something like that. And you didn't know that I wanted that purse. She had no idea.
No idea, y'all.
She did not know. But she was so in tune with God, and she was obedient to being God's great girl that you brought that purse. And it stuck with me. And I was like, thank you, Lord, because I want to know, who knows if you had all the means to do it, but you had the obedience to do it. And for me, it became the beginning of me being like, what's my next level of obedience? Do I have luxury obedience? Because that's a different level of obedience. With God be like, give them a watch. You're like,
right.
A watch? Jesus, that watch?
Right.
But do I have that level of love and compassion and obedience? And it opened the door for me. So I want to thank you for that because
you're sweet.
You didn't even know the trail that went after
and
that.
I wasn't
but
balling.
I just got wild with it. I got
That's
wild.
so great.
I got obedient and wild. Because I felt like I was hearing God a few different times test it out, and I was like, okay. Then a few times I was like, wait, did you say that one, Jesus? That's the, okay. Confirm it because I'm at the register. That's the, all right, let me just give this purse. Yeah. But it birthed something fresh and powerful in me. And it opened up a level of generosity that I always wanted to abide in. And I thank you for that seed in my friendship because I wanted to know that it was possible that I would ever get it. Would I get, like, are people like me, God? Am I going to meet people who want to give like me, who want to love and who don't want to be combative, who want to be friends? Because we have disagreed, but we've never argued. Yeah. Like we've never fought it out over anything because we agree
went
that
silent or went
no,
weird.
I respect our differences. I respect your ways. I respect like your personality and energy is like sparkly fireworks on the sunny day. You can match the sun in the sky with this. And this is real for how long? It's not even, how many years has this been? Because Sam is 14. That's how I date stuff. It's well before almost 20 years.
Yeah,
so 19
20
years.
Yeah.
You still match the sun in the sky energy. But I've never wanted to fight with you. I've always wanted to be the friend that you needed me to be. And you've always wanted to be that for me. And that it's not always comfortable. Sometimes it's hard to be the friend when the bots are botting, or you know what I mean? Or if somebody's like not being kind to your friend, and you like, my old self would strangle them, but Heather doesn't want me to strangle him. Heather wants me to love him. So let me give him a smoothie, God dog it, and be kind.
Yeah. Like, let me forgive,
Let
right?
me forgive, because Heather would want me to forgive. But I want to scrap, but she don't want that.
Yeah.
So let me do this for her. And
That's true. Even when the trolls were coming after me, then I'm like, just leave it alone. Like,
she didn't want to do anything. I'm like, what's the plan? What's the strategy? How are we going to get PR on this? How are we going to knock these bots down?
God fights my battles, and I believe that. I truly.
She does. And that was what you were saying. And I was like, okay, but God sends weapons. Okay, can I be the weapon? Can I go in the comments?
But you know what? I'm coming from a healthy place.
You are.
And
You are.
let's take a break real quick. I don't want to come back and meet
let's
in that
do it.
place. I will take a quick break. So I think that I'm able to come from a healthy place because I went to therapy.
Yeah.
You got to have a good foundation in what you do. And this podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. You guys, we love them. We have been talking about BetterHelp forever at this point. And going to therapy for the past few years has really helped me to really deal with the foundation, my weaknesses, my struggles. And what I love about BetterHelp is that you're able to connect with somebody online. Like, you don't have to get in the car, because I definitely was in traffic on my way here today. You don't have to get in a car. You have to drive somewhere. You don't have to get, like, I remember I was sitting in the waiting room once in this big building, and this girl walked in like, oh my gosh, Heather Lindsey, can I have a picture? She asked me for a picture as my therapist was walking up. Like, Heather Lindsey, you ready? I was like, yeah, hold on. Like, I didn't want, at the time, I was like embarrassed. I didn't want people to know, like, hey, I'm going to therapy, but I love that you can connect with somebody within 24 hours online. They match you with a therapist. They have financial aid. They help you deal with every area: depression, anxiety, fear, you name it. They can literally help you walk it out. All right. Now discover your potential with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/Lindsey's today, y'all, to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Lindsey's. So you mentioned something.
Yeah.
You said I planted a seed.
Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes people go around, they plant a bunch of bad seeds and they expect healthy, good relationships afterward. Right? Like, you're coming to this relationship with an opportunistic mindset where you're trying to take something from me, or you like to be around me because I have a following, or you like to be around me because you think you can take from me. And I feel like when you plant that seed, that's the foundation of the relationship you're going into.
Right.
But if you go into that relationship with the mindset of, I want to bless Sybil, I want to help her, I love her, I like planned your engagement party.
Yes, yes.
Like, I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, I just want to love you. I
Yeah.
want, because that came from like a good place.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you have the wrong heart and the wrong mindset, you get into these friendships with people, and then when it goes south, you're almost like, well, dang, I've been planting good seeds. What is this?
Yep.
It's like our soils don't match.
Ooh, our soils don't match.
They don't.
That is the truth.
It is. Our soils don't match. And yours is on like a rocky soil.
Yeah.
So whatever you plant keeps dying, and you have a
Yep.
trail of dysfunctional relationships because you have a terrible foundation. We got to get back to our foundation.
Yeah.
And we need to start to heal. I wasn't healed when I met you,
Yeah.
but I still was like, I want to treat people right.
Yeah.
I want to love people. I want to
Yep.
help people. I want friends. I need to be friendly.
Yeah.
I want to love on my friends. And I believe that God will bring me great friends. I was new to New York City. I didn't have friends, but I just felt like if I do my part, God will meet me there. And as long as my heart stays pure, then he'll send people with pure hearts to me.
Yep.
Because our soils match.
So good. It's our soils match. And you said something about, you know, people leaving a trail of bad seeds. There's so much self-awareness that is needed to be a great friend.
Yeah.
Like, I think a lot of times people are not self-aware, and people go out expecting love that they were never willing to give. Right? And that is so conditional, because I can expect the world of you, but I want to give you a state. Wait a minute, you can't. How you gonna give me Iowa
work?
and you want to have North America out of this relationship? It doesn't work that way, but it happens all the time.
That's draining. That's what that is.
Draining. And then then when people can't measure up to the standard, you feel let down. That's the only time let down happens, is when you have an expectation in your mind of who a person's going to be, and they don't measure up. That gap between expectation and when, where they show up
That's
and
real.
the expectation, that's the let down zone.
a
And it
letdown.
happens when people don't have the awareness to know who they are.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes when you have that lack of self-awareness, you also have signs of codependency,
I think so too.
right? Because
Yeah.
you need other people to help fill your cup, and then you pour from their flow. And when you don't have enough of other people filling voids, you don't have sufficiency in yourself. So you start to get that insecure side of people. It shows up, or it's awakened when their cups are empty, when they have that trail that you're talking about.
And then what it does is, because you got burned by them, it makes you put your guard up against even new people.
Absolutely.
The new people ain't even do nothing.
The checklist becomes long. You be like, okay,
You be
wait,
like,
do you have
nope.
any of the following
Child.
symptoms? Are you nasty? Are you mean-spirited?
A little red flag that might trigger you from your past.
Yes.
Because now we're carrying stones in our heart.
Yeah.
And we are ready to protect ourselves.
Yeah.
Our body wants to protect itself from pain constantly,
Absolutely.
and so does our mind.
Yep.
So if we see somebody come and we see a little hint of somebody who burned us in the past, we're
Yeah.
like, nope, guard
Yeah.
up immediately.
You know, it's interesting because when you talk about the body protecting itself, inflammation, right, is a sign of the body trying to protect
Yeah.
itself from things, from external, I would say, what am I saying? External, it's like the war, like the body
Yeah.
protecting itself, creating a barrier from the external. It's the same thing with emotional inflammation. We can have emotional inflammation.
We can.
And that can show up in our relationships, or it can
Yeah.
show up in the way that we prejudge new people, or we
Yeah.
prejudge women, because I get this all the time, this generalization around women in
Isn't that
friendships.
wild?
And I'm like, that is not my truth. That is not my story. I'm sitting here with a 20-year friendship. How you can't tell me. But I understand how people can have that.
Yeah.
Because of it, and I think, I don't know if this is out there, therapists, but emotional inflammation needs to be a new term, because I do think it is a thing.
So good.
Where you start to pad yourself,
So good.
protecting yourself, and you start to put all of these
Yep.
new mechanisms. You become very controlling, or you become very demanding, or even closed off from people and confrontational. And then that's not who you are, but that's who you think you need to be.
Right.
Yeah.
That's not healthy.
At all.
I think
At all.
I think the first step, though, in healing is being honest with yourself.
Oh, for sure.
And I think some of us need to take a moment and, almost like when you go to the doctor to get a checkup, do your own emotional checkup.
Yep.
Am I a good friend?
Yeah.
Like, am I a good friend? Yeah, they screwed you, okay?
Yeah.
And we need to forgive them. And we need to release that and let it go. And we're going to talk about more of that in the next episode. But
Yeah.
like, I need to forgive them.
Yeah.
And I need to put myself in their shoes for a second.
Yep.
And empathy does that. When
Yep.
you get hit with pain or hard times, empathy begins to grow in you, because you're like, man, you did me dirty, and that's fine.
Yeah.
That's who you are.
Yeah.
But that's not who I am. And putting myself in your shoes, I'm going to try to do my best to try to understand why you would do that to me. Right?
Yeah.
Like, maybe you were trying to protect yourself. Maybe I was a trigger for somebody that hurt you in the past. Who knows? I can't control the way everybody else's thinks.
Yep.
But I can control my response towards them.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And so I think when I get burned, my first thought is, well, dang, that hurts.
Right.
That
Right.
sucks.
Yes.
I didn't think that person was like
Yeah.
that. Like, I've been friends with people for 10 years and they do stupid stuff. I'm like, where'd that
Like,
come
I didn't
from?
see that coming.
I didn't
Like-
I didn't see it coming, but I do think that some relationships are seasonal.
Yeah.
Some people are supposed to be in our life. I feel like after 20 years, it is what it is.
It's
You in my
happening.
life. Your
kids
right.
love me. So
Right, of course. Oh, you're auntie
there's
all
that.
day, and your kids love me. I
Okay,
take
so
it.
that's that.
Right, but
Yeah.
I mean, we vacation together,
Yeah,
Aruba, everything.
yeah.
But I think it comes to a point where you're just like, okay, some friendships are easy because we're
Yep.
at work together,
Yeah.
right?
Convenient,
It's
yeah.
convenient. You can't put a whole lot of stake in this because it's convenient. We gotta drive in the same traffic every day, or get on the train same train every day.
Yeah.
It's easy to be friends with you,
Mhm.
or your high school friends,
Yep.
college friends. It's easy. It's
Yep.
convenient. But I want to develop those friendships that actually take work.
Yeah.
Right? That are
Yeah.
long lasting
Yeah.
through every season, but you won't have a lot of those. And I think we have this idea that we're going to have like hundreds of all these amazing friends that are just going to be there for every season. No.
Yeah.
I feel like God's going to give us, a nice core group of friends to
Mm-hmm.
do life with. And you have to understand that some are truly just seasons.
That's so true. It's so good, because I think it takes a little bit of maturity to be able to say that,
Yeah.
what, that was a wonderful season with that person.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of closing it out or exiting that season and saying, feeling the worst about that experience because it may not have closed on a note that you expected, close out being grateful for all of the beautiful moments that happened in those seasons that gave you the longevity of the season. If it's a year, if it's 6 years, if it's 10, whatever that time frame is, closing it out in gratitude will help you open the door for new relationships, because you understand that chapters have closing moments, and you're at the, and you're at one. Yeah.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
That's actually been my thing, and I want to close this out because we have part 2 next week, and we want you guys to watch it too. But that's the big thing I've learned when I've gotten burned or somebody left my life suddenly. I'm like, Lord, I thank you for the time that they were in my life.
Yeah.
Now help me to heal from the pain of their decisions and how it hurt me.
Yes.
Because I don't want to carry that into my new relationship.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
We love you guys.
Love
This is just getting good. We will see you guys next week.